अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सारवैतं सावधूतं परिजनं कृष्णदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगना श्रीविशाखां हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो गोपिका वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि शाकल्पतरुस्य कृपासिन्धो जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे
Krishna.
We welcome all the devotees who are assembled here for study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We thank you for your time and association. Thank you very much. So today we continue with the study from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2. So this is a very, very beautiful chapter. Very, very beautiful chapter. And many shlokas are there for memorization also in this. In fact, what Prabhupada did is that Prabhupada made a lot of the shloka as part of Bhagavatam Mangalacharna that we chant every day, right? When we read the Bhagavatam, every day we are reading. So that is being done because these shlokas are so important, very, very important. So let us invoke the Bhagavatam Mangalacharna and then we get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I was preparing for this class and I came across a very, very wonderful quote by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And it is so wonderful and I would like to share that with you. So Ram, can you please read this, what he is saying?
Yes, Prabhu. If someone even reads a verse of Bhagavatam, they are associating with the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ram. So here what is being said? If you read a single verse of Srimad, what we are doing, we are actually associating with the Supreme Lord Himself. This is the power. In fact, in my early days before Krishna consciousness, I used to read a lot of self-improvement books and having mentored like Robin Sharma and so many different people. And I used to read their book and listen to them. So he was making one very profound point, and that very much resonates here as well. And this is absolutely right. He says, when you read an autobiography of great personalities, that means you are actually spending time with them. I did not realize at the time, but now when I read this, it makes so much sense that when you are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, every word is like associating with absolute truth. So wonderful. So thank you all for giving opportunity to associate with the Supreme Lord. So this chapter is titled as Divinity and Divine Services. It is divided into 6 different sections. We'll try to cover the first 2 sections today. Because what did we hear in the first chapter? What is that about? First chapter, anybody remembers? 6 questions, yes. So first chapter is about 6 questions. The sages asked 6 questions. So somebody may say, where is it written in 6 questions? Why you are saying 6? There could be more. We'll see that. That question may come. Why not? Why 5? Why not 7? Why 6? Like that. So today we cover the first 2 sections. Sutta Goswami's reply, that he covered in the first 3, 1 to 7 sloka. And then from 8 to 15, he says only bhakti, where he answered the first 2 questions. First 2 questions are getting answered here, 8 to 15. So we'll see that. So, basically this chapter, description of 3 items. One is the process. What is that? Abhideya. We read about that in the first chapter. Abhideya is a process, how to achieve something. Then second, what is Abhideya? It's bhakti. By doing bhakti, we achieve something. Yeah, someone will come. I'll talk about it. So, what is the process? Process is bhakti. Through which, what is our goal? Goal is the pravaja. What is my goal? Go to absolute truth. And which is like absolute truth or getting the prema of Lord Krishna. That is my absolute goal. And what is the object of worship? Object of worship is Supreme Personality. So that is my sambandha. If I create a sambandha with Krishna and follow the process of abhideya, of bhakti, what I will achieve? I will achieve the prema of Krishna. So this chapter absolutely describes this. So if you understand this, all the doubts about misconception will go away. So that's what is there in this. So we'll not go here. We'll start reading the shlokas. So let us read this. Vyasa uvacha
Vyasa vacha
iti samprasna samharsto
samprasna samhastu
vipranam romaharshani
pranamraham sarahi sanahi
prati pujya vachastesham
prati pujya vasascheta tesam
pravaktum upachakrame.
Chakrame.
Now, Vilasu, can you please read the translation?
Sure, Prabhu. Translation. Ugrasrava Sutagasami, the son of Romaharsana, being fully satisfied by the perfect questions of the Brahmanas, thanked them and thus attempted to reply. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, one important word is used. Ugra Shava. So, what is Ugra Shava? Anybody want to make an attempt? What is Ugra? Ugra, can you make Ugra? No, Ugra means what?
Ugra means aggressive, Prabhu?
Aggressive or like,
Ferosh
sorry, what is the Prabhu?
is like ferocious.
Ferocious, basically we can say that Ugra, but Ugra also means, rapt attention, like very attentive. That is Ugra. You are doing something with a lot of intensity. That is Ugra. When we do a lot of hard work, it's like a lot of labor. It's Ugra Parisha. We call it Ugra Parisha. Means a lot of labor is going on, with a lot of intensity. Similarly, Ugra Shrava. So Shrava means what? It's listening. Very good. Listening. So Ugra Shrava means one who listens with rapt attention. With a lot of attention, he's listening, not getting distracted. Oh, what's happening outside? there's a noise coming from the AC, you know, and all those things. We are not listening to all. We are listening only to Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada translate his name as Ugrashrava in the translation. So that means, who is this? Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami is hearing a lot of attention. That's what his name is. He's given name as Ugrashrava. So this is important. That whenever we hear some class, whenever we are listening, either on YouTube or Zoom or in person or in temple, wherever we are, what we should listen with a lot of attention. Then things will go easy. Otherwise, it will be just like, you know, we heard the class, but we actually were not there. Our mind was somewhere else. That happens many times, right? With all of us. I'm sure everybody must have experienced. I experienced it many times. I'm still learning, but that happens. So this is very important that when we hear something, we should, listen with rapt attention. So that's what it means here. Let's go to the next shloka. Now this is a memorization shloka. Okay. So these shlokas is primarily talking about, it is called Mangalacharan verse spoken by Suta Goswami. Now Suta Goswami is speaking. So far, who all were giving questions? All the questions are the sages of my mission, and now Suta Goswami start responding. So before we begin our class, what happened? What we do? We pray. We pray Mangalacharan. We thank Prabhupada. We thank Acharya. So here, Suta Goswami is doing exactly the same thing. He's teaching us that this is how we should proceed. Right? So this is a very important word, and we should try to memorize. Okay. Basically, it is spoken by Suta Goswami, Pranam Mantra for Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Because when Sukadeva Goswami spoke Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami was in his assembly and he heard with a lot of attention. And that's what he is speaking here. So let's recite this verse. Very, very important, and we should all try to remember. Suta Uvacha.
Suta Uvacha.
Yam pravrajantamanupetamapeta krityam.
Yam pravarjanatam anupetam apita kritayam.
Okay, let's make another. Yam pravrajantam.
Pravajantam
Anupetam.
anupetam
Apeta krityam.
apeta krityam
Dvaipayano.
daipayano
Viraha katara ajuhava.
virayakatara azuhava
Putreti tanmayataya.
putreti tanmayataya
Taravo vinedus.
taravo vinedus
Tam sarva bhuta hridayam.
tam sarvabhuta hridayam
Munimanatosmi.
Natasmi.
So this is a very beautiful. So let us read translation. So Robert, you want to read?
Yes. Srila Suta Goswami said, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that great sage, Sukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyasa, leaving home without undergoing reformation by the sacred thread or the ceremonies observed by the higher castes, his father, Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, 'O my son, indeed, only the trees which were absorbed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the grieved father.'" Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So as we know, Sukadeva Goswami was in mother's womb for
16 years.
16 years. He was in womb for a very, very long time. Normally the children are there for like 9 months and then they come out. But here Sukadeva Goswami was saying, I don't want to come out because Maya is so much. And as we discussed earlier, Krishna removes the Maya for the time frame by the time the seed can stay, mustard seed can stay on the sword, edge of the sword. For that much time, Krishna removed Maya. And Sukadeva came out. So immediately after coming out, he started running towards where? The forest. He said, I don't want to be with all of you. So here, which is being described here, that Sukadeva Goswami immediately went in the forest. What happens? Vyasadeva is running after him and calling him. Putra, Putra, Putra. He's like calling, oh my son, where are you going? Why are you going away? You stop. He started calling. So, normally in a Brahmanical family, what happens when they are born, there is samskara which is done, right? If they are 9, 10 years, Upanayan sanskar, they put the thread ceremony, they put the thread, Mundan is done, various sanskars are done. But here, there are no samskara which is done for him, because he is immediately went into the forest. And Acharya explains that he is Mahabhagavata, there is no need for him to do the samskara. All the samskara that we do, thread ceremony, Mundan, not required for Mahabhagavata. So here there are a few words that let's pay attention to that. So here there is a word. Word is here. Read here. Yeah. So there's a word called so here Krityam and Apeta Krityam, right? Apeta Krityam. So these three things are there. Without being reformed by the sacred thread, not undergoing ceremony and prescribed duty. This thing is not done for Sukadeva Goswami. He straight away goes into the forest. So basically, this is a description by Suta Goswami of how Sukadeva Goswami went, and then Vyasadeva is calling, please wait, my son. But what happens? Only, the tree is reciprocated. So he's saying, I do not have power. What is he? He's saying, Sam Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munima Natosmi. You live in everybody's heart. You go into everybody's heart. I don't have that power. You are the original speaker of Bhagavatam. I don't have that power. So you go into the heart of everybody and invoke the bhakti. Because Sukadeva Goswami is considered to be incarnation of Lord Krishna himself, like Vyasadeva, Narad Muni. He is also an incarnation, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, what the shloka comes? Ishvara sarva bhutanam Riddeshe Arjuna Tishtati, saying, I am living in everybody's heart. Krishna says, I am living in everybody's heart. So from that principle, Sukadeva Goswami is there because he is a part of Krishna. He is incarnation of Krishna. So that way we can understand that Sukadeva Goswami is in everybody's heart. And it is also considered that message of Bhagavatam is so sublime, is so supreme, is so pure that it pleases everybody. How? By entering into the heart. How we get peace? Peace, when we have love for something, we get peace. Similarly, when Bhagavatam is spoken, we get pleasure because it is entering into our heart. So that's another meaning Acharya describes. So, Suta Goswami saying, Sukadeva Goswami can enter into hearts of everybody, all the Naimisha messages are there, and uplift them, elevate them to the bhakti. So he's glorifying. He's saying, I have no qualification. I have no qualification. All the information, qualification is from my guru, Sukadeva Goswami. So that's what is being told here. And the next sloka, again further, this is also sloka for memorization. It is important. So there again, this will be sung in the similar meter that we spoke, but let's recite it again. Yasvanubhavam akhila
Dasavuvakila
Shruti saram ekam
Shruti saramekam
Adhyatma Deepam
Adhyatma Deepam
Atitirshatam Tamondam
Atitirsatam Tamodam
Samsarinam
Harinamam
Karunaya
Karunaya
Purana Guhyam
Purana Guhyam
Tam Vyasa Sunum
Tam Vashusanam
Upayami Gurum Muni.
Upayami Gurum.
So this is good. Can you read? Yeah.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Suda, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Yasadeva, who, out of his great compassion for those materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the stream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. So here, very important point has been made. He's saying Sukadeva Goswami has spoken this Bhagavatam. How? After understanding, by assimilating all the learning, and then he's speaking. Means he's speaking after realization, not like me who's just repeating. I'm not yet realized. But here Sukadeva Goswami is still there. Oh, he has realized everything, and then he's giving us to us. Now we have a lot of difference on somebody who's having experience of some subject matter and somebody who's just learned it theoretical. We can see that, in between these two, there's a lot of difference. We understand that somebody, one with experience, speaking from the heart, because he doesn't need anything. It's because he has understood, he has experienced. Similarly, Sukadeva Goswami has assimilated, experienced, realized, and then he's speaking. So that's a glorification he's doing. So there are a few words that we just pay attention to. One is as Tamondham. What is Tamondham? Tamondham is Prabhupada translated as deeply dark material existence. It's a deep, dark material existence. So we all are in this material existence, which is like a dark well. We cannot see anything. We cannot see anything. However, there is something that we call Adhyatma Deepam, the torchlight of Srimad Bhagavatam. That can take us and enlighten all of us, and we can come out of this material world. So it's a lot of mercy which is being showered. And very important point that we should understand is that Harikatha, when we hear, we should hear from pure sadhus. So there are three types of Harikatha. Please pay attention. This is something we should remember. There are three types of Harikatha. So there are Harikatha which is coming from head. There is Harikatha which comes from the heart. And there is Harikatha which comes from the belly. So when Harikatha comes from head, what is it actually? It is using very flowery language, very intellectual kind of things, showing great presentations. All this is good, but if this is done for getting some fame, people should recognize me and all that, then that is called Katha from the head. Somebody just trying to show, I'm great. I have so many followers because I'm speaking so beautifully. That is from the head. Second is Katha coming from the belly. Belly means when you're speaking, you have done nice Harikatha, okay, very Dakshina, somebody should give Dakshina, some nice covers can come, like that. That's an expectation. Then there is from the belly. The worst is that we are doing Harikatha and charging for it. Okay, we have Bhagavad Katha, we'll charge like, 25,000 for one day. And then 7-day Katha goes on. In India, this happens. There's a lot of sponsors are there in India. Where, with this particular family, is the signboard is that we are sponsoring Bhagavad Katha. And a lot of people come. Why? Now that person who is sponsored will get fake. Oh, he has done Bhagavad Katha, Prasada Maran, and all those things. So that is from the belly. So that is again not helping. In fact, there is an incident which happened when there was a Kirtan festival. All the great singers and everybody is invited who can do very nice and long Kirtan. So one unit was called off, and then when they said, okay, we will come, but we'll charge like 4,000 for the singer, 4,000 rupees. This happened in India. 2,000 for Mridanga player, 1,000 for Kartal for 1 hour. And we'll come and we'll do it. And if it is more, then we'll charge more. And when the time is over, they say, okay, now it's over, so we'll leave now. They say, if you want more, then you pay us more, and then we'll do it. So what is this? If you hear even this kind of kirtan, our mind will get corrupted. Because we are not hearing from the pure people. This Harikatha Kirtan is absolutely free. There is nothing. We don't charge. It's just to give the knowledge. Prabhupada came here without any money. He did not charge anything to anybody. He in fact served the hippies. Okay, he washed his dishes, he cooked for them. He never charged. And he never used any flowery language. He never had PowerPoint presentation. He was just speaking pure Katha. When he did Kirtan in your part, he did not have Mridanga. He was just having one simple prayer, and he was just doing it. But he was speaking from the heart, and then he transformed so many lives just because of that, because it was pure. So Katha done for Kanak, Kami and Kirti is for wealth, for some kind of attraction and some kind of fame. Then those Katha we should never listen, because that is not going to help us. So this is another important verse that we should memorize, Shloka number 3. We also speak during our Mangalachara, so we can recite. It's very beautiful. Narayanam namaskrityam
Narayanam namaskritta
naram chaiva narottamam
naram chaiva narattamam
devim saraswatim vyasam
devi saraswatim vasham
tato jayam udiraye.
tato jayamudiraye.
So, what is being told here? Here, before we begin, what we say? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. What are we doing? We are paying obeisances. We are paying prayers to the Lord. Right? And then we begin. Om Jnana Viminandasya. Take away all the darkness. We are praying before we begin. This is a prayer. So before Sukadeva Goswami even speaks, he glorified his Guru. Now he is glorifying who? Nar Narayan Rishi. He used Vyasdev and Saraswati. Saraswati because through which we are speaking. Right? Vyasa also wrote because Saraswati. Right? So he is glorifying all three and paying obeisances. So that's what is here. So he's paying obeisances to Nar Narayan Rishi, Saraswati, the spiritual counterpart, and Vyasa. So that's what is being done here. So even in our Mangalachara, we say this. So this one is being there. Paying obeisances. Next shloka. So this shloka basically is the questions related to Krishna. So what kind of questions should be asked? It should be our thought process. What kind of question we should ask? Whenever we are asking question, is a Prabhu, how much share will go up? Do you think where should I invest money? If this market is, now it is, the market is crashing, should we invest in some stock? Tell me which stock will go up in next 6 months. Like that. This is material question. If you want to really go back to God, our question should be, Prabhu, when is satsang happening? Which sloka are you reading? How are you doing your sadhana? When can I get prasadam? I'm traveling, I don't know where to go. These are related to Krishna. Because now I'm trying to bhaktify my activities. I want to add bhakti into my activities. So any questions that we ask towards Krishna will help us progress little by little towards Krishna. It's like, when we are in India, here before the GPS came, right? Even now, in some places when we go, we don't know the place. What we do? We ask somebody, hey, do you know this place? Yeah, go straight and then left, and then we forget. So we go straight left, and then we again ask, okay, I've come here, where do I go next? They say, no, you take right, and then again you take right, And then probably you go left, again we go, again we forget. So we again, anyway, you have tea stall, pan stall, all this, we ask this. But eventually what happened? By asking this question, they give us direction and we reach the destination. Similarly, when we ask question for Krishna consciousness activity, slowly we make progress. Somebody says, okay, Prabhu, class is happening here, please come. Okay, very good. Now I got attached. Then say, okay, where I'm traveling, where do I get prasad? So now he's eating prasad in Houston or wherever he goes. So this way, we are slowly getting attached to Krishna consciousness activities. Therefore, all our questions should be related to Krishna consciousness. Even if I'm making money, Prabhu, I want to make money. Why? Oh, I think there is a temple we need to make. We don't have any center in this Alfred. We have to go all the way downtown all the time. And that too once a week. But if you have something close by, we can probably meet, like, at least every alternate day. So how can I fund it? And I want to make more money to do that. Maybe that is a little bit of Krishna consciousness, because I'm not asking for myself. I want to serve Krishna. Like that. So this is important thing. All our questions should be related to Krishna conscious activity. Because he is thanking Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami is thanking all the sages that he says, "Oh sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they are related to Krishna. Questions are worthy because they are related to Krishna, and so are of relevance to the world's welfare." Sometimes we learn not from a devotee asking a question, not from the lecture. Somebody asks us, "Oh, I also have the same question," and then we hear, we say, "Oh my God, this is the same thing." Even in classroom, some students are shy, to ask questions, but then somebody asks, "Oh, I learned from this." We get that knowledge. So he's saying that this question that you're asking is not just for good for you; it's for the world's welfare also. So this is what it is. And then let's go to the next. This is again a very important shloka, again for memorization. Should try to do that. Savaipamsa paro dharmo
Savaipamsam paradharmo
yato bhaktir adhokshaje
yato bhakti radhoksaje
ahaitukya apratihata
ahatyokya aparyahata
yayatmasu prasidati.
jayatmasu prasidvati.
Mother, can you read?
The supreme occupation for all humanity, which manifests in loving devotional service after the class. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the soul.
So here it's being spoken about what? The first question is getting answered now. First questions. So first two questions are getting answered in shloka number 6 and 7. First two questions. So here, what is our supreme occupation? As for Varnashram, there is so much occupation we have. But our supreme occupation, Parodharmo, saying Parodharmo, the word Parodharmo. For everybody, all the humanity, is that what?
Serving the God.
Serving the Lord, yes, to get the love of the Lord. But any activity that we do, if we get the love of the Lord, then that is supreme dharma. That is parodharma, supreme occupation. So let us pay attention to few words here. Very, very important words are there. Parodharma that we just mentioned, right? The next word is ahaituki apratihata. These two words are very important. Very, very important. We should keep this in mind because these words will help us in advancing Krishna consciousness. If you are having any motive behind doing bhakti, then that will not help us. Then that is not pure bhakti. That is not pure bhakti. So here, otherwise what happens, it is called pravritti marg. Prabhupada explains this in the purport that anything which is done with some expectation, then that is called pravritti marg. Means we want to benefit from that activity, benefit from devotional activity. Devotional activity is done for the pleasure of Krishna, pleasure of Supreme Lord, not for us, any material gain. We should be focusing toward Nivritti Marg, means I don't want anything. That's what the two words mentions here, ahaituki and apradita. So ahaituki is causeless and apradita is unbroken, constant, continuous, without any interruption. When we do bhakti, without any expectation, then that will help us. That is our dharma. That will only help us go back to God. Because if we are having, in Chaitanya Charitamrita that comes where Haridas Thakur, he used to chant 192 rounds every day. When he was getting old and frail, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lifted him and says, I think you can stop chanting so much, you have already chanted. Why do you want to chant every day? You can reduce, no problem. And Haridas Thakur refused. He said, no, I cannot. How can I? I've taken breath, I've taken vow to chant 190 rounds. I will keep doing that every day. So that's a determination. When Goswami is very old, and they were not able to, they will do parikrama every day. Then they are getting old now. Parikrama is like 21 kilometers. Govardhan parikrama is about 21 kilometers. A normal person, if he walks, will take about 6-7 hours. But here, Goswami is doing parikrama. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and says, no, you don't have to do parikrama. He says, no, I have taken vow, I will do parikrama every day. He does it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him his own, golden shield and said, you just do parikrama here and that is your golden parikrama. So this is mercy of the Lord towards the devotee that he is doing so much that I will not put him through so much of pain. So similarly, when we are doing our bhakti, we chanting 16 hours, one day, that's enough, one day is okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. We should chant every day. If we miss our round previously, we should make it up. But we should not get into the habit of making it up all the time. That I can chant tomorrow. Because today I was busy. I'll give one example. There's one of the very advanced devotee called Anand Vrindavan Das in Mumbai, Chappan Temple. He and there is another senior devotee called Gudakesh Prabhu. So Gudakesh Prabhu had one daughter and one son. They were getting married. And when they were getting married, obviously marriage means a lot of activity, especially for the parents. They're so busy. But he has taken a vow that he will chant 64 rounds every day. 64 rounds, at least 6 hours. Because if you do 1.5 hour speedy, at least 6 hours. So now he's busy whole day, taking care of guests, so many activities going on, so many relatives comes. So the next day, Anand and met him. They both are friends, very close friends, so they can do joking and all those things can happen. Even in senior devotee, that is possible. So he took him to the side. He says, yesterday whole day you were busy doing all those things. I saw you are so occupied. What happened to that 64 round? आपने chant किया क्या? So yes. When? Well, I put everybody, after everything was done at midnight, I put everybody to sleep. I took bath, I sat on asana, and I started chanting. Whole night I did not sleep. I chanted 64 rounds, and morning 7 o'clock I'm back with all of them. This is dedication. This is dedication. Not because, marriage is there. Maybe, I will cover it up after the marriage is over. No. Krishna will give mercy when we have this apratiyata, unbroken, consistent service to Krishna and no expectation. So this is, many times this is our Nitya Dharma. So there are two types of Dharma, right? One is Nitya Dharma and another is Naimittik Dharma. So Nitya Dharma is serving the Lord all the time. Naimittik Dharma is like, occasional Dharma. Like, when somebody leaves the body in somebody's home, There's something called Sutak, when those family don't do worship and all those things, people think like that, but that is not true. We should not do that. We are Vaishnava, so we should continue to serve because somebody has passed away, which is a process anyway. Why we should keep our Lord hungry? Why they should not get aarti? We should continue to do our service. That is our Nitya Dharma. Naimitic Dharma is something that we anyway keep doing. Like, there are Dharma occupation. What are those like? Desh Dharma. I have to protect my country. Pati Dharma, Patni Dharma. All these Dharma are we should continue. But on top of that, the highest is Parodharma. What is Parodharma? It's the devotional service to Krishna. That should go uninterrupted. And
Prabhu, then what is the difference between Nitya Dharma and Paradharma? Both are related to the serving to the God, right?
yes, Nitya Dharma is bhakti. Parodharma is again saying the same thing, that all occupations that you do, that is for the Lord. That is your Parodharma. That is Nitya Dharma. The same thing.
And Naimittic Dharma is about material desire, right?
Is occasional dharma, like not material desire. Dharma means like if there is a death, sickness in home, family, and you are not able to serve the Lord. Say okay, because there is a problem. Because of course, in some shastra it is mentioned that when there is a death in the family, you should not touch deities, all those things. That's there. But when we come to the level of Vaishnava and serving the Lord Krishna, then this is the highest. We can still do. We can still serve, we can still offer Bhoga, no problem. And sometimes women are, in the monthly, there are 3 days, 3-4 days, and they are not able to serve the Lord. If they are alone, they can still do it. There is no problem in home. Because your child, right? Lord is like your child. Will mother stop feeding the child because she is not, in a proper health condition? No, she will continue. We can continue that way to serve the Lord. There is no problem. There is no offense. This is called Nitya Dharma. And in fact, in Bhakti, everything works. Everything. Deity worship works. Chanting works. Kirtan works. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam works. We heard about Dundubi, ghost, right? In the first when we were doing introduction. He got delivered just by hearing Bhagavatam. He is a ghost. Still got delivered. So dear friends, this really works. Because many times devotees leave bhakti because they think these things are not working. It happens because of two primary reasons. Two primary reasons which makes person deviate from the path of bhakti. They go away. One is improper sadhana. Like lack of association, lack of reading Shastra, listening Harikatha, chanting. This is our daily sadhana. We should do it regardless of what is happening in our day. This must be done. And second is Vaishnava Ninda. When we offend a Vaishnava, then there's a fall down. There are so many examples in Shastra that offense people who offend, they just get destroyed. We have Vasudev Leper, Harikatha comes in, Chaitanya Charitamrita, where he offends Haridas Thakur, and his nose gets leprosy and nose drops. Because he criticized Haridas Thakur. So this is very, very important. We should not criticize any Vaishnava, and we should not become complacent in our sadhana. Never. It's very important. So this is what it is. So this is very, very important shlok to memorize also. Because if we do unmotivated, uninterrupted bhakti, we can go back to God. There are so many examples that devotees have gone back, so we can also go back. This is also another important shlok, so let us read it. Vasudeve Bhagavati
Vasudeva Bhagavati
Bhakti Yoga Prayojita
Bhakti Yoga Prayojita
Janayatyashu Vairagyam
Janayatasu Vairagam
Gnanam Cha Yad Ahaitukam
Jnanam chaya dadati suktam.
Can you read?
By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So there are two specific things which have been spoken here. So when we see this, it is being spoken that by doing bhakti to Lord Krishna, we immediately, what do we receive? We receive causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. We don't have to put an effort. It automatically comes, naturally. We start detaching from the material activities and thoughts and all that. And we also get causeless knowledge. Knowledge is what? That Krishna is supreme. He's my soul. He's my everything. Everything is done in our life is done for him. Is for his pleasure. That knowledge comes in. And we slowly start getting detached. So there's one word which is used here, Vairagya. You see that Janatyashu Vairagya. So what is the meaning of Vairagya?
Detachment?
Yeah, but then let me ask you, what is Tyag? Tyag and Vairagya, these two look similar, synonym, but there's a difference. So anybody would like to make an attempt to define what is Tyag and Vairagya?
So tag is for sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. Okay. What is Vairagya then?
And vairagam is detachment from the material world or from the material desire.
Yes. So they're very, very close. Yes. Thank you, Bilantu. So Tyag means that I like something. For example, I like to, before coming in Krishna consciousness, I will go to a restaurant and eat something. So now also I get that feeling that sometime I should go and eat some pizza, something. But now I am not, so I should not go. I'm having hankering to eat pizza, but I'm saying no, that's not. I will not eat it. So that is Tyag. I mean, we still have some desire to enjoy, but we say no. Because we have intelligence, we use it and say no to that activity. Vairagya means not even thinking about that. Not even thinking that I want to eat pizza, I want to enjoy, that thing, the thought even doesn't come. So that's a higher level of Tyag. That's called Vairagya. So Tyag means I want to go on Netflix, a new movie has come, and I got good reviews. Somebody said my friends are watching. It's okay. And today I have time because Bhakti Purusha got cancelled, So let's have 2 hours. What to do? Oh, 2 hours. I have saved 2 hours of traveling. Let's watch a movie. So this is Tyag. I don't know. I will not do it. But Vairagya is not even thinking that I want to enjoy. So that is Tyag and Vairagya. So this is a very, very important thing that we should do. Okay. So one important word other is ahituki, means causeless. Immediately acquire causeless. Ahituki. This is very important because Krishna showered his mercy on all of us. Krishna gives intelligence to discriminate what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad immediately, and we start doing it. Otherwise, our sadhana is not proper, association is not good, we still get drifted. Our intelligence sometimes gets corrupted, and we keep doing this activity again and again. Okay, next, there are a few references which I was given, again from Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is mentioned for the interest of time. Let us read the translation only. So, Robert, did you read the translation?
Yes. Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. These 3 occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger comes simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's read another one reference. Yeah. So, Vilas Prabhu, you want to read this?
Sure, Prabhu. Unless one renders devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudev, one cannot possibly become completely detached from this material world, nor can he possibly manifest real knowledge. Hare Krishna.
So, basically, we cannot detach from material world if we are continuing to do any of the material activity. The sense wants more and more. We never get satisfied. Our sense will never get satisfied. In fact, there's a story which comes in Bhagavatam. We'll read it as we go in. I think it comes in Canto 4. Story of Puranjan. Which is an allegorical story. Narad Muni tells to Prachetas, the Prachina Barhi. He tells him that how Puranjan was attached so much to his wife, that in the next life he became female. He got a female body because he was constantly thinking about the wife, the female. I want to enjoy. So he got the female body in the next life. So this is like always getting attached. Little bit doesn't help. Yayati Mara. After getting old, he asked for youth from his son. Exchange youth with old age with his son to enjoy. Later on, he realized modern dream is useless. Saubhari Muni, at the age of very old age, he again regained youth because of mystic power and married 50 princesses. So this is not helping. We see example that even after so much of enjoyment, they are not happy, and eventually they give it up. So why not to give it up now instead of going through that path and saying, let me also enjoy and then I'll give it up? No, that's not good. Many times, in youth classes, this Gaurang Prabhu mentions that in many youth classes they ask, because now devotees, all the youth have read Bhagavatam, they understood at least higher concept and all those things. They say, which is your favorite character from Bhagavatam? And all the youth will say, oh, Ajamil is great. But why? Oh, he enjoyed his life and also went back to Godhead. He enjoyed his life and he also went back to Godhead. We may not be lucky to chant Narayana at the time of our death. So what will you do if you cannot chant? You are having a problem. So we should never walk on that path because that's very dangerous path. Very, very dangerous.
No guarantee, Prabhu, right?
Yes,
That-
no guarantee. Absolutely, you're right. No guarantee. Because in COVID, people died. They were on ventilator and they died. They couldn't even chant. So if they didn't, they thought that I will chant at the time of death. Now there is no time to speak. So unless we are chanted through our life, Krishna won't come. If we are chanted through our life, through the life, and then we are on a deathbed and we are not able to chant, Krishna will still come. There is a shloka comes in Varaha Purana, where Krishna says that if my devotee cannot chant my name at the time of death, I will come and deliver you. So many times, when Bhakti Charu Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj left his body early, untimely, because of COVID, devotee had this question. Oh, he was on ventilator, he couldn't chant, so did he went back to Godhead? The answer of our Guru Varga says that yes, definitely. Because he served Prabhupada. He translated entire Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali. I think Vilas Prabhu has a copy of that. It's very beautiful. He's done that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Giving Harikatha, and elevating so many people, bringing people into Krishna consciousness for so many years. He gave his entire life. Krishna will come. Doesn't mean he is not able to chant, he will not go back. No, that conception is wrong. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita because for all of us, may not be elevated personality. So he says, if you remember my name, then I'll take you back. But not for highly elevated devotees. So that's not there. So can you please read it?
Thus, it is established in this verse that bhakti alone functions as both the cause and the goal and not knowledge or detachment.
Yes, thank you. So this is very important. See, these, all the shloka that we have read, 6 and 7 especially, first two questions are answered in this. The answer to both the question is bhakti. What is ultimate good for the people in general? Bhakti. What is the essence of all the Shastra? Bhakti. These are the two questions. These are the answer. Is bhakti. One answer in both the questions. So, bhakti alone will help us. Is our cause and also a goal. Our goal is bhakti. Our cause to do is also bhakti. Not knowledge and detachment. That is not going to help us. Only bhakti will help. What kind of bhakti? Uninterrupted and unmotivated. This is the bhakti. That bhakti we should do. So let's quickly go through this. So here the theme changes a little bit, where it's being spoken that only bhakti is to be gained through the performance of one's work. Means anything that we do, we should think only about doing bhakti, Krishna consciousness, nothing else. So we'll, in interest of time, we'll skip the Sanskrit, we'll keep reading the translation. So Ram Prabhu, if you are there, can you read the translation for this program?
Yes, Prabhu. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, you can hear.
Translation. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke action for the message of the personality of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here one important thing we should pay. So Shrama evahi kevalam. Anything material activity which is any activity which is done with a material motive, it is called Shrama evahi kevalam. It is only parishram. It is not bhakti. But if we do the same thing for Krishna conscious activity, then that becomes a bhakti. That is not Shrama. If we keep doing, because Varnashram dharma is not Paro dharma. It is not the highest dharma. Varnashram is there to perform, to make sure that the society is maintained, people are living in harmony, all these things are there. Unless those activities, the Varnashram activities are used in Krishna consciousness, is in the service of Krishna, then that is not Paro. That is established here. It says occupation duties are useless labor. The Shrama evahi kevalam is called useless labor. Prabhupada tells that. And they do not provide any attraction towards Krishna consciousness. No attraction, zero. If any activity that we do like this, if we do this activity and if it's attracting Krishna consciousness, then that is called Daivi Varnashram. Daivi Varnashram. It's now all my Varnashram activity are towards pleasing the Lord. So that is that we should do. So we talk about what? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Right? This is what Shastra talks about. So people say by doing our dharma, what you want? You want to achieve Artha, you want to enjoy Kama, and you want liberation. So you want material gain, you want to enjoy, and we want to liberation. That is why we do dharma. That is not right. Yes, it is there in the Shastra for bringing very lower people to at least some level that they can purify themselves. But that is not the highest dharma. Highest dharma is when the dharma is done or the activity is done, not for material gain, not for enjoyment. That will bind us in this material world. Again, the birth, punarapi janam, punarapi maranam. Again, the birth and birth cycle will continue. So we'll be stuck in this material world. We'll be stuck here. To get out of this world, the only way we can do is doing bhakti. Any bhakti means doesn't mean that we have to chant like Haridas Thakur and whole day. That's not required. We can serve deity. We do our office work. We chant. I say we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. We listen to some classes. We discuss in home about this. That is good enough. That's good enough. Anything that we earn. In fact, Lord is asking Prabhu. It is mentioned in Shastra. 50% of our income should go towards Krishna consciousness. How can I give 50%? Then I'll be like bankrupt. I have mortgage to pay, I have car loan to pay, so many mortgages and so many things are going on. Lights, the utility bill has to be paid. So it is mentioned by senior devotees that all this money, if our home, we are doing worship of Radha Krishna, deities are there. Even if picture that we are worshipping them, we are doing nice bhajan, kirtan, all this thing. Then Krishna is living here. So we are paying for his house. So our mortgage is used for Krishna conscious. We are traveling to temple, we are traveling for Bhakti Visa classes, our car is used in the Krishna service. We are buying books, we have light, we have internet. We are not using internet for Netflix, we are using for YouTube, for listening to our Zoom, for listening to Harikatha. Krishna consciousness. So this all the money is now getting purified. So that way anyway 50% is anyway we are spending money, right? So we are in fact getting more than 50% in Krishna conscious activity. But only if we are doing this kind of activity. Not like we are enjoying, then that's not going to work. See, one I would like to give an example here. So here. So tell me which one gets affected faster? He is from GT, so you can answer. The bottom one, why do you think so?
Not rusted.
Not rusted. This is important. They are not rusted. This is a very important one that he used. Rusted. Right? So let's see what he says. So rusted means weak attraction. And if you are not pure, strong attraction. Right? So if you want to get, we all have to get attracted to Krishna consciousness. We can see what is rusting. Rusting is our weak sadhana. Enjoying propensity, I want to enjoy, Artha, Kama is the goal. I want money, I want to enjoy, that's the goal. And occasional association of devotee or no association. This is going to have weak attraction toward Krishna consciousness. But if we do our sadhana is strong, we have Vairagya. And we have liberation is our goal. Our regular association with devotees is going to happen. Then it's going to be stronger. So we have to decide which path we want to go. You want to crawl or you want to run? You want to crawl towards Krishna, you want to run towards Krishna. Choice is ours. We have that. So depending on our sadhana, we get attracted to the magnet of Krishna consciousness. In fact, sadhana is the one point which determines how quickly we advance in Krishna consciousness. There are devotees who are there for like 20 years, 25 years. I'm not enjoying. What is happening? Why? Because the sadhana is not good. Somebody studying 15 hours every day, but he's not attentive. Then obviously he's not going to, the student is not going to learn. But if somebody that very attentive, 2 hours focused. And in fact, my brother-in-law's son, my wife's sister's son, he was preparing for the advanced medical exams in India for 6 months. Because he has to prepare. He did not touch phone. 6 months. And he was reading 15 hours every day for 6 months. And now he is like, DM, a PhD doctor is doing it. He has successfully completed. So that's a dedication. And that's a material dedication because we want to get and all that. Someday he'll become Krishna conscious, we hope so. But at least in our activity also we can do like this. Otherwise, it's Sham Evahi Kevala. It will be only Sham. So here, again, we'll read the translation. So, Bilasul, can you read the translation?
Sure, Prabhu. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's like a warning. And we should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. More money, more enjoyment. No. That's not the case. Oh, Prabhupada told, chant 16 down, you go back to Godhead. Oh, we are living in America, nice weather, everything is good. Air-conditioned home, nice car, nice road, everything is good. I will keep chanting 16 down. I will keep enjoying. No, that's not going to work. That will not work. Because if you are doing that, our Varnashram Dharma is Parodharma, then that's not the case. That is not. So, question will definitely come because he's saying that if you are using material gain to cultivate self gratification, then that's not good. Then the question will come. How the material gain should be utilized? We got promotion, we got big bonus, we got, I switched the job for 30% increase in the salary. What do I do with the extra money that I got? Have you ever seen that extra money that we get is always get sucked up in the lifestyle that we live? It's never enough. We had 100,000 salary, we're living the same life. 150,000, we still feel we are less. We got 50,000 more, but still we feel it's less. 200,000, still the same thing. So where is that money going? Ideally, if you're doing that, if you have maintained the lifestyle of 100,000, we are saving 100,000 more. And I'm just taking an example, tax, all this. But that's the thing, but is it happening in anybody's life? It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So here, the artha is negated. The artha is removed from this. So what is saying? Let us read this. So can you read better?
One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification.
This is artha is negated. Artha, kama, moksha. Three things are spoken, right? Dharma, artha, kama. So any dharma you should not be doing for artha. Meaning sense gratification. Money comes, artha comes, absolutely. Use it in Krishna conscious activity. We are not saying whatever you have, you build the temple and all. No, nobody is doing such telling this. In fact, many times, yesterday only I was listening to one class where he mentions that Adivara was mentioning that when Mataji asked question, Prabhu, I'm living in the dham, so a lot of people come and ask donations and all this. So what should I do if I say no? Is it like Vaishnava Aparadh? He says, no, absolutely not. You have your own lives to take care, you have family to take care, you are doing certain service. So you do according to your capacity. And you can absolutely say no to everybody. Just don't offend them. Say, I'm sorry, Prabhu, we'll do it next time. I already done it. Like that, we can just say no. That's what. So it's not that we have to just keep giving money because it's Krishna conscious activity. In temple also, there's so many festivals. Doesn't mean every festival you sponsor a big item. No, not required. But do it. At least once in a while we should do.
Whatever we can afford.
Yeah, whatever we can afford. Nobody asking us to offer Gajapati $10,000 for Rath Yatra. No. Can you offer a pot of $151? Probably yes, I can do it. When we have birthday of children, can we do a fish sponsoring in temple just $300? Yeah, maybe once in a year $300. Yeah, good. Absolutely. Even regularly we can donate something. That's possible, small amount. Nobody asks, Prabhu, can you pay $1,000 every month? And we went, oh my God, that's too much. These people are taking a lot of money. No, we don't have to do it. Little. So artha should be used in Krishna conscious activity. See, in the Skanda Purana, it is also mentioned, one reference which I found when I was reading it. He says, O Janardhan, O Lord, O Vishnu, the bhakti which is fixed on you is called liberation. So whereas bhakti is fixed on Krishna consciousness, not serving demigods and all this. Because nowhere else in Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that we should serve demigods. No. We respect them. We respect all the demigods. Durga Mata, Ganeshji, everybody. We respect. But we don't pray to them for anything. Even if we want something, what we should do? We should ask Krishna. A child, I think I gave an example. A child asking in the home, his father, can you give me $1,000? Father will ask questions and say, okay. Is sensible, he'll give it. But the same child goes outside and asks, I need money, on the signal, and say, I need $1,000 for this. He's like a beggar now. So we are like Krishna's child. If you ask Krishna, Krishna give it. Then we are not beggar. We are asking Krishna, please give me this. Krishna, so why do you need it? We have to answer this question to ourselves. But Krishna will ask me, what should I tell you? We will just whether we need it or not. So that is liberation. And that's why it is saying that because that's for your devotees are liberated. Only those who are doing bhakti, they are liberated automatically. No need of anything. This is a confirmation from Skanda Purana. So here we read, just let me read this one. Life's desire should never be directed towards self-gratification. This is here, the karma is negated. Artha, Kama. So this is Kama. Life desire should never be directed towards self-gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is made for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's work. So whatever work that we are doing, our goal is only Supreme Personality of God. That's the only goal. No other goal we should have. So no sense gratification. That's what is mentioned. So here Kama is negative. So Artha is negative, Kama is negative. So all the whatever work that we are doing, we should engage into these kind of things. So here, three things are mentioned. How we can perceive the Supreme Personality or Absolute Truth can be perceived in three ways, right? We know it is what? Bhagavan, which is highest. We know that Brahman, Paramatma. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The three ways we can understand the Absolute Truth. So let me show an example. Prabhupada gives this example. This is a sun, right? So sun has got many features. We see sun rays, we see sun, and over there is a sun god, right? So sun rays are like bodily effulgence of Krishna's body, which is like Brahman. So when we have Brahman conception of Krishna or the absolute truth, that means there is no compassion, right? There is no karuna, there is no bhakti. There is no bhakti discussion there. There is no feature, there is no rupa, and there is no lila. There is no lila happening. So people just want to get merged. Some have concept, I will merge into the Brahma Jyoti and become one with God. That is Brahman. Our conception is not that. So let's look at other conception. Paramatma. What is Paramatma? Paramatma is a sun globe, which is like a sun planet. It's like Kano Shirodaksha Vishnu, which is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Krishna is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Our worship is not to him. Our worship is even to absolute truth, which is the Bhagavan Rupa. So again, in Paramatma, there is a form, right? Because Paramatma has a form, so that is there. There is a Karuna also there. Compassion is there. Like, when Dhruv Maharaj prayed, the Paramatma came and give him the knowledge. So compassion is there, Rupa is there, but there is no Leela. In Paramatma, there is no Leela happening. We have not seen any Leela which is done by Paramatma. But in case of Bhagavan, it's like a sun god. It's a sun god, which usually one cannot see. It has got Rupa, it got Leela, it got Bhakti, it's got Karuna, everything is there. So our highest goal should be towards Bhagavan. In fact, when we read Bhagavad Gita, in many places we say Bhagavan Uvacha. They don't say Krishna Uvacha. Do they say Bhagavan Uvacha, right? They say Arjuna Uvacha, Sanjay Uvacha, like that, but they don't say Krishna Uvacha. What they say? Bhagavan. So now who is speaking? Krishna. So who is Krishna? Bhagavan. Right? So this is what we should understand. That Krishna is Bhagavan. They are not using word Paramatma, they are not using word Brahma, nothing of that sort. Ishwar, no. They are using word Bhagavan. So Krishna is Bhagavan, which is absolute truth. That is our goal. Not Brahman, not Paramatma, but Bhagavan. So this should be our goal. So the three more verses, we'll just quickly go through that. So we finished one particular section. Robert, can you read the translation for Shloka 12? Yes. Yeah.
The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Sutra.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So here, Vedanta Shruti. So here it is mentioned that a seriously inquisitive student we all are serious. That's why we are attending, Bhagavatam discussion. We are going to temple, we are listening to classes, because we all are serious. Otherwise, there are devotees who are just going out and they are having time. They are doing something else. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam classes or Harikatha is also a great service. It's also a great service. It is also like a Vaishnava Seva. Because Vaishnava is speaking. When we are hearing Prabhupada Katha, we are actually giving time to Prabhupada. When we are hearing to His Holiness Radhanath Singh Maharaj, we are giving time to him. So that's like a Vaishnava Seva. They are speaking and we are hearing. We are relishing that. So it's like a Vaishnava Seva. So we should be inquisitive, curious and develop knowledge and detachment through hearing. Through hearing, these two will happen. Knowledge will come about absolute truth, what is my goal, and detachment will happen by hearing. We see an example, Dundugari got elevated because he heard Bhagavatam. The question was asked, how come Dundugari got elevated, who was a ghost, did not even have a body, yet there are so many pious people who were sitting in the assembly, they did not get delivered. Why?
They weren't listening.
Exactly. They weren't as attentive as Dundugari, and that's why they could not get delivered. That the Dundugari got delivered. This is the difference between the rapt attention and being in the class. I'm being in the class, I'm physically here, but my mind is there, I'm hearing something else. So that is not going to help. So that's why we heard in the second shloka, right? First shloka. What is the word that was used for Sutta Goswami? Anybody remembers? Ugra Shrava. Ugra Shrava. Hearing with full attention. Doesn't matter what's happening. Have attention fully. So we should all hear very attentively. This is how we can realize absolute truth. This is what is being told here. So in this shloka, our only purpose of Varnashram is to please the Supreme. That's the purpose of Varnashram. Nothing else should be there. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna just gives definition of Varnashram. Chaturvanya maya shristam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram api imam vidya akartum avyayam. So here Krishna says there are, according to the mode of material nature, people are divided into the Varnashram. But the purpose of Varnashram is not to just do any activity. No. In every Varna, you can serve the Lord. Arjun fought the warrior Kshatriya. You are able to serve the Lord. Right? So that way, there is nothing like, I cannot serve in this. Anybody, any Varna one can do. There is no classification, no gender, no where are you born, which race you are born in, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So this should be, our goal of our life. So here, to please the Lord is the only purpose of Varnashram, nothing else. This we should understand. And that any activity that we do, that we should do for pleasing the Lord. Last two shlokas, read this. Here, in this particular shloka, what is saying? That by any means, we should focus on devotional service. So can somebody give examples of devotional service? What are the different devotional services?
The 9 forms, Prabhu?
Sorry, Ram Prabhu?
The 9 forms, Prabhu?
Yes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam,
Padasevanam.
These are 9 steps. These are all devotional services. So we can do any of these services. Focus on all of this. Focus on all of this. In fact, all the activity that we do, all the nine processes of bhakti, they all should increase our remembrance for Krishna. That means chanting Harinam, doing Kirtan Harinam, that is important. If that is increasing, then that's good. If I'm doing because I like deity worship, but that's not increasing my taste for chanting, then there is something missing. I'm doing it for when devotees come, they should say, "Oh, Prabhu, what a beautiful decoration you have done. I'm doing for admiration." Then that will not increase taste for chanting. But if I'm doing Krishna, oh, your pagadi is not going to let me adjust it because I think you might be hurting you. I'm doing for the pleasure of the Krishna, and that is very different. When I'm trying to show off, then that is not going to help us in progressing. Like a material activity, I'm trying to get some fame. Even from a small activity, these are all subtle things which we will not realize, but it happens. And these are more dangerous than a gross activity. Because subtle things, we cannot. Can we see the mind? We cannot. Can we see the hand? Yes. Can we control the hand? Hand is going. Can I say, yes, stop? The mind is going. Can I stop the mind? I cannot see. It's just going. So subtle things are difficult to focus. So therefore, it is mentioned in one of the doha. It says, Prema gali ati sakari, Prema gali ati sakari. The path of devotion or street of love is very narrow. You know, Tame dau na samaya. It cannot have two people. It's like, you know, in what do you call it? When you put a sword into his case, you cannot put two swords in one case, right? Only one sword goes in one. So similarly, either we do devotional activity or do material. We cannot have both. But if we convert our material activity into devotion, it's one activity. It is just one activity. It's not two different things. So by any means, yena kena prakarena, we should do bhakti. We should just serve the Lord. That should be our motive. Because multiple activities like, you know, demigod worship, it is not a prescribed path. It is not a prescribed path for all of us. It is there in Shastra. Definitely. Devotees do it like Kali Mata Puja, Ganesh Puja, all those things are there. And they do it. But at least we don't follow that as per our Acharya. You know, once Mahavishnu Maharaj, he was traveling in a train. He's a disciple of our Guru Maharaj, Sri Prabhupada. So he was traveling in a train and he was reading Krishna book. So one co-passenger was sitting next to him and Maharaj's station kept, so he just stood up and was about to leave from his seat. He says, "You've been reading this book for so long, you know. So can you tell me something, describe this thing in one line?" Everyone's, I sense in one line, nicho, the crux of the message, whatever is there. So he says, Krishna tumhare pati, Krishna tumhare pati, Krishna tumhari gati. Krishna should be our goal. Krishna se karo rati, attract towards Krishna, or Krishna mein lagao mati. So Krishna is tumhare pati, is like my friend, my husband, my wife, everything is Krishna. Krishna tumhari gati, that should be my goal, right? Going towards Krishna is my goal. Krishna se karo rati, I want to love Krishna, attachment, friendship, serving, that rati. Or Krishna will lagao mati, apply your mind into Krishna consciousness. That's the one line we say. So we have this shloka which comes in Bhagavad, it will come in this. Vasudeva para Veda, Vasudeva para Mata, Vasudeva para Yoga, Vasudeva para Kriya, Vasudeva para Gnanam, Vasudeva para Tapaha, Vasudeva paro dharmo, Vasudeva paragati. You see all these things are Vasudeva paragati, Vasudeva paro dharmo. We should just do it. This is what will come. It will come in this chapter later on. So all our activity should be focused towards Krishna, nothing else. So last words for today. So here, so Ram Prabhu, can you read this? What is it? 15.
A 15th verse, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. 15 just translation.
There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here, the glories of the Lord's message is being given here. That hearing the katha attentively. What are you saying? That one who understands this truth about me means Krishna is not. Let's understand this very, this is the last shloka, but let's, it's been over time, but let's just understand that. Prabhupada tells in purport that conditional life of a living being is caused by his revolting against the Lord. Revolting against the Lord. We are revolting against the Lord. That's why our life is, whatever life that we have, the situation that it is because of that. If we love Krishna, then our life will be very different. The child who's rebellious at home, and is trying to do all tantrums, he will not get the affection and love from the parents. But a child is submissive, loving, listening to his parents. He'll get everything without even asking. He doesn't have to even ask. Parent will find, oh, my child needs, he's going in college and he needs a car or something. Immediately they see a need and they will give it even before the child asks. But for other child, you go by bus, you take Malta and go and all those stuff. You're not ready. So similarly, Krishna will give it to us anything that we need, not our wants. Krishna will fulfill our needs for sure. So if we hear attentively, then automatically the love for Krishna invokes in our heart. Automatically invoke in our heart. So that's what it says. There are many shlokas which are there, which are glorifying this. In the Shloka, the 11th canto, where Uddhav Gita is being spoken. Lord Krishna speaks to Uddhav. That is being spoken, where it is mentioned that how Parikshit Maharaj developed so much, faith and not having enjoying propensity by hearing Bhagavatam. So all our activity which is centered around Krishna consciousness can become Krishna consciousness, and we will be able to do it very diligently only if we keep hearing from Prabhupada. We should hear at least 1 or 2 lectures in a week from Srila Prabhupada. That's a minimum we should hear. And those lectures are not very long, right? Like I've been speaking for 1.5 hours, but it's very short, 20-30 minutes, and we get a lot of essence in that. Guru Vani, when it goes in our ears, purify our senses. So we should hear Prabhupada's lecture, we should hear our Guru World's lecture, and that's what we should do. So this verse answers that how does the faith arise? How does faith arise? By hearing. Faith will come by hearing. So remembrance of the Lord is a sword for removing all the material thoughts. When we remember Lord, all the thoughts will go. That can be done by Shravana, Kirtana, and automatic Smarana will happen. Okay. So we'll stop here. Let's see. Is there any question, comment, or correction, or any realization? So thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining online and being in person. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Vacha kalpataru vyasya kripa sindhu vadevacha patitana
Bonam.
Ananda Purveshwaran ki jai,
Jai,
Sadhu ki jai,
Jai,
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Hare.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Yes.
That was a great lecture, Prabhu.
Thank you, Ram Ruga. Thank you.
Yeah, very great material, very satisfying listening to this. That was very nice.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to serve all of you. I'm just repeating the words of our Guru Varga, because I'm just reading from Bhagavatam. I'm using this support activity which is done by Gaurang Darshan Prabhu and all this. It is helping us present this material in a meaningful way. Even when I prepare it, I read it, so it helps me, So yes, it is satisfying in both ways.
It was also nice, I'd never thought about it this way, but at the beginning of like verse 3 and 4, where he's offering obeisance to his spiritual master.
Right.
And you pointed out that we do the same thing, right? And so that I never connected that, but it's really nice, the continuity. Right?
Exactly.
For thousands of
Thousands
years.
of years.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing, just like we're not the same as the people listening to that lecture, right? But
Yeah, similar.
we're
activities.
similar, yeah, it's
Yes.
really nice. It just really hit me, that we're, all this time, we're still doing the same thing. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it's because this is eternal.
Mhm.
This knowledge is eternal. It is not like, that this put today and tomorrow it's going to change. Like in technology, what happens? We have something 10 years ago. Now that is absolute. And nobody uses that technology. Why? Because that's a material thing. But the spiritual is eternal. Whatever is spoken 5,000 years ago, even true today. Because there are many questions which comes in, at least in young mind. Oh, Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years ago. How is it relevant today? Oh, in fact, it is even more relevant today. Because today we are in more problems. Bhagavad Gita has answers to all the problems in the life. So it is absolutely more relevant today to read this Shastra and follow the guidelines given in the Shastra. Otherwise, let's get ready for another birth. And we don't know which species will be born in. We don't know we'll be in America, we'll be in doing Bhakti Varsha like this. We don't know. In fact, there is when Jayapataka Maharaj was here in Atlanta, one Mataji had a question. She was asking Jayapataka Maharaj, I'm not able to chant, there is difficulty. I'm lacking in my bhakti. So Maharaj told, in Kali Yuga, Harinam, Jap, chanting is the only process. This is the only process. And in fact, that process is so good that people want to take birth in Kali Yuga, not in Satya Yuga. In Satya Yuga, you do so much austerity. So he says, in Kali Yuga, the process is very simple. You're chanting very attentively, Lord's name. If you are not able to do it, we don't know which birth you will get in Mataji, he says. Maharaj is saying, we don't know which next life will be in which home. Will be born in first as a human or as a question. And he says, this life will continue. Birth after birth after birth after birth after birth, it will go on. And he says, as per the predictions, the ISKCON or the Krishna conscious activity will be there for another 10,000 years. After it will diminish. Because Kali Yuga will take over, the situation will be more horrible, it will be very, very difficult to even do bhakti. Even today, to do bhakti in certain country, we cannot do it openly. We have to hide ourselves and do bhakti. If you do bhakti, then people will simply put you behind the bars, or they might just, kill you for doing bhakti. So, after many years, that's going to happen, Maharaj said. So why you want to wait? Why you want to take another birth? Why don't you become sincere now? We know that that's a future is going to be very, very bad for bhakti. You have association, you are coming in temple, you have sadhu sangha, you know what to do, you have the process, you have the books. Just do it. Just become a little sincere. So we have to become a little sincere in our efforts. That is what is required. Little sincere. The sincerity is required. Only thing that which stops us from doing bhakti is ourselves. We are the biggest bottleneck of anything that we want to achieve in life. We want to get into the best of the college. We don't put in efforts. We don't study well. We cannot get into that. Who is at fault? Is the teacher who is collecting our papers? No, it is we, because we did not study. So if we are not able to achieve our goal, because we are not putting 100% effort. So that's what Maharaj told that please do bhakti very sincerely. Otherwise, life becomes very difficult.